In this video, we are going to talk about nets of solids. And a net is a flat figure that can be folded to make a solid figure. So I think the best way to think about this is imagine you had a cereal box and you needed to put it in recycling. And so, the best thing to do when you're putting a box of any kind into recycling is to break it down. So you take a pair of scissors and you open it on both ends and maybe cut along one of the edges, and then you lay it flat on the table. So you've taken what used to be a solid figure, a three-dimensional figure, and turned it into a flat plane. And that's what a net is. So what they are asking you to do here is to look at nets, which this would be an example right here, and see if you can figure out what that figure could be folded into. So for example, here, it's showing you that if this were what you were given, you could take this and make it into this rectangular prism, or looks like a box. So you would fold these green sides up, and you would fold these pink sides up, and this blue side would go on top of the other blue side to form this. Here you have the net of a pyramid. Now we know that a pyramid, that all the faces of a pyramid are triangles. So that's a good hint right here that this is a pyramid. And the base is square. So this would fold into a square pyramid if we took each of these triangles and folded it up so they met at the top to form this vertex. We'd form this square pyramid. Now let's look over here at this one. Here we have two triangles. Those would be our bases for a prism, because the other sides are rectangles. And we know that when we have the faces that are rectangles, that makes a prism. So if I folded this up, and this up, and this side up, and this side up, I'd have what looked like a Toblerone bar, or a tent, if you want to think of it like that. And this one, you can tell, is a dice that they have taken and flattened out. So if you took these, and these are like little flaps that you would fold together to make it stay together. But if you took this and folded, if this was your base, and you folded this side up, and this side up, and this side up, and then took the 6 and folded it up, and then this 4 would be the other base. This would be what would be ended up on top. So this would be one base where the 3 is, and then the 4 would be the other one on top. So that's the net of a cube. And finally, we've got these two, the cylinder and the cone. And remember, what makes those different is they have circles as their base or bases, and they don't have faces. They just have one curved face. So here, if you can imagine, if you had a soup can and you opened up the part that goes around and flattened that out, and then you had this circle on top and this circle on bottom, you could fold these in and wrap this around, and you'd end up with this cylinder. And here we see this vertex, which gives us a clue that it's going to be a cone. And we see this curved surface. So the curved surface and the vertex are great clues that we're going to have a cone. And plus, we have this circular base. So if we were to wrap this part around the base, we would end up with a cone. So that is how you change a net or recognize a net into what kind of solid it can fold into.